In the world of flight simulation, X-Plane 11/12 is absolutely indispensable. It's a powerhouse simulator with a unique advantage. It runs natively on all three major operating systems: Windows, Linux, and Mac. Take Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's Windows only, but X-Plane 11/12, it supports all three. Now, within the flight sim hardware scene, finding devices that support Windows, Linux, and Mac, all three? That's incredibly rare. So today I might sound like I'm boasting about my own products, tooting my own horn, but I want to show you how Quickmadedevices work seamlessly on a Linux system. I've mentioned before that buying flight sim hardware without long-term support can turn it into an expensive brick. But if your device gets continuous support or has super long-term expandability, it never bricks. One purchase, lifetime use. That's the idea. First, installing the software. I'm using Cachy OS here, a Linux distro. Firefox is a popular browser choice on Linux. Open Firefox, search for GitHub, then cpuwolf. Select the repository. Look for Quickmadedevice. Go to the Releases section. The latest version is 6.7, QMDEV.jar 6.7. Download the .jar file. .jar is a Java executable. So, we need Java installed. I'll use a command line to run this file. The key command is java-jar followed by the file name, jar, and it launches. Once the installer runs, it's like most installers you see. Just click Next, 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 and Install. One important note, point it to your X-Plane 11 or 12 main directory. That's it. This next step is optional, just showing you. After installation, under X-Plane, Resources, Plugins, you'll find a folder called QMDEV. Inside is a data folder. This data folder contains aircraft configurations. It's OS independent, just script files for the aircraft. In the flight sim hardware world, many rely on configuration files. I found them too inflexible. So I built a scripting system to enable far greater versatility. All right, plugin installed. Now, let's launch X-Plane on Linux. Starting X-Plane 12, I'm loading the Flight Factor Boeing 777, a relatively new and quite expensive add-on aircraft. X-Plane takes time to load, so I'll fast forward here to save time. Once X-Plane loads, you'll see a small window pop up. That's QMDEV initializing and caching. This upfront delay ensures peak runtime efficiency later. I'll explain this more. Take the QMCP737C device, released back in 2019. It's been around for 6 years now, and we're still maintaining its software. That's the power of passionate development. QMDEV is designed to be programmable, customizable. You don't have to wait for my updates. If you have even basic programming skills, you can adapt it yourself. With this architecture, the device never bricks. Though my updates do save you the effort. Recall how this software starts up. No buttons to press, nothing to configure. X-Plane launches, the device initializes briefly, and it just works. That's my philosophy. It must be effortless. No matter which aircraft you load, it works automatically. No need to manually load profiles or perform a bunch of extra steps. Everything is automated. Crucially, remember, you're seeing this on Linux. Hardware working flawlessly on Linux isn't common at all. It's very rare. This isn't Windows. It runs as smoothly as on Windows. Every button functions exactly as it should. I'll just demonstrate them briefly so you can see. It's identical because the entire scripting system is cross-platform. The scripts are completely unaware of the underlying OS. Once a script is written, it runs automatically on Linux, Windows, Mac. No changes needed. Fully automatic, identical behavior. You won't notice a difference. Now, what matters most to us simmers? Frame rates, right? That's a huge priority for me too. My QMDEV software cannot impact your frame rate, not even a fraction of a frame. I refuse to tolerate that. This X-Plane install is lean, just QMDEV and FlyWithLua. Both plugins use a Lua interpreter engine. Let me show you a performance comparison so you see the effort I put in. Watch when I enable a basic FlyWithLua function. There you go. See how FlyWithLua adds over 100 microseconds of overhead? 100 plus microseconds. Maybe not game-breaking, but it bugs me. Now look at QMDEV, also a Lua interpreter, in X-Plane's performance monitor. 0 frame cost. Absolutely 0. None. Even twisting knobs adds nothing. This is achieved with a highly complex architecture to ensure 0 frame impact. That's why earlier you saw that preparing buffer window. It does the heavy lifting up front, so during actual gameplay, there's 0 performance hit. That's the goal. We need to look beyond the surface. Buying hardware often focuses on looks, the aesthetics. But I've said it many times before, software is the future. Software is the real strength. When evaluating hardware, look at the software powering it. The software capability, not just the hardware specs. For Mac users, installation is identical to Linux. Same JAR file, same process, and the devices just work. Give it a try. We have active Mac users around the globe. Thanks for watching.